homestead journey, has a video. Teachers are done. America's moral decline no one wants to talk about. If you want to watch this full video, again, links are in the description. Let's check this out though.
It looks like many teachers are quitting just within a few years of entering the profession. And truthfully, I think more is going on here, especially when you look at student behavior issues.
I'm a high school teacher. It is 4 weeks into the school year with students. I am at my limit with being talked to and demanded at so disrespectfully, interrupted constantly, repeating myself countless times.
Majority of my time in school, I was a good kid, good student. Towards the end, like the last few years, I got a little bit more reckless. Now, 12th grade, I didn't even do a full day. I was doing like half day. I only had like 3 classes to finish on my credits. That 11th and 12th grade, I did become a little bit more rowdy. I understand the disruptions I might have made. I feel like I made the teacher's job harder. Needless to say, I do apologize for that.
This year feels worse. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I feel like I've seen so many teachers make videos where we are all ringing the alarm saying, this is bad. I don't know when as a society we're gonna wake up and say, our system is failing. Our students don't have basic respect or human decency. Teachers are done.
I had a student that told me what you...
I would ask, like, what would be something that could be done? Because I feel like, is it the teacher's job to teach basic decency? Would that seem like that would come from like the parents and then just the kid respecting that? How do we legislate that? How do we deal with that?
What you gonna do about it? Really? So I was ignoring them because we were out at tennis and he was banging his racket. And so I told him he had to sit down. He lost 5 minutes of tennis. And he was like, I don't care. I don't have to listen to you. I'm not going to do it. What you going to do about it? So then he was in my space. So I said, I need you to back up. What you going to do? What am I going to do? What are you going to do?
See, and this is another side of it too, where it's like, damn, it's kind of bad because you kind of see the direction that these kids could end up on, right? Because this person, what are they going to do? Are they going to fight the student or are they going to call security? At what point do things escalate so much? So I'm talking about like high school, right? Some of these people 16, 17, 18, right? And some of these kids might be fucking 6'2", 200 pounds. If they say that to her, like, what is she going to do? She going to take that as like, yo, you a grown man to me. I'm calling the police on you. And then we end up in these situations and it's like, it's just fucking mess, bro. It's a mess.
I don't know what else how to handle it. They say ignore negative behavior. So I was ignoring negative behavior, but he wanted a reaction. But now my anxiety is a little high and my nerves are a little fried, but he wanted a reaction. I was trying not to give him one.
Well, guys, I made it a week and I asked to put my resignation in. I've been dealing with so many health problems due to stress, at least the last 2 years, and I was hoping that being at a new school would change that. And day 3, I was in urgent care because I thought, doesn't matter what I thought, but it all came down to chronic stress. And I walked in the next day and said, I cannot do this anymore. I am in fight or flight mode all day long. And I really don't know what would change it. I guess just the caseload. It's so much pressure in so many different areas. It's hard to explain to people that aren't in it. It's not the kids, at least at my school. For some, it's different. At this school, it's not the kids, it's not the parents. It's the workload.
Yeah, I wonder what that means, like the workload. And this is something I just never knew. It's like kind of looking behind the curtains. Are they putting these plans themselves together, or is it something that's like passed down? Like, hey, this is all you need to, this is what you need to teach. This is all the stuff that needs to get done by here and here and here. Like, this is what it needs to look like. And that's like, this is a lot. It's a lot to teach everybody to do. Or is it a lot of like papers that need to be graded because of the workload? Like, I wonder more about that. Like, what is it that's causing so much of the workload? Because she said it's not the kids. Unless it's staff and, personnel. I wonder if she needs to quit, or if it's a matter of like, if you just change your district, change your school. I don't know how easy that is, or probably because you live in a certain area, so it's probably not that easy to just go somewhere else. I don't know, but I wonder if that could help out at all.
I have to speak to, as a teacher of 24 years, this being my last year, I'm retiring. I'm done. And I'm done because of one word: parents. And I am going to speak for teachers who can't speak because they're still in the profession. Education has changed so much that it is unbearable. And this is why there's a teacher shortage. I have seen education change in 24 years, and it hasn't changed for the better. And a lot of it has to do with parenting or lack thereof. Parents, when you send your child to school, They need pens.
This is what I was saying. Like, it seems like it's a parent thing. They need pens. I wonder, can the school supply these things? Pens, notepads, books, whether it's tablets that could be stored, warm meals, air conditioning. Not to make this on the school. Come on, parents. We have to do better as a society, man.
They need pencils. If they don't have them, please ask me or ask the school. Parents, when you send your children to school, yes, they do need their books. Yes, they do need a notebook. If they do not have any of those things, please ask your teacher, or please ask the school. Bottom line is this. Teachers are not just teachers. The amount of time that I spend teaching is, let's see, if I'm lucky, maybe 20 minutes within a class period. There's so much other stuff going on every minute, every second of the class period. It starts off as soon as the kids come in the room. There's always self-regulation that I have to do. There's always redirection that I have to do. There's always repeating the same information, even though it's written on the overhead, even though it's clearly spelled as clear as it can be in the written language. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And even after I ask for clarifying questions, which I don't get any, there are kids who are constantly coming in late, which disrupts.
The clarifying questions could be effective. Like, it could be people that's scared to ask questions. Like, if I'm the only one who asks this question, I'm very nervous. I don't want to seem like I'm dumb. I don't want to seem like I don't know what's going on and I'm the only one. So I can understand that being difficult. I think a teacher could find that frustrating, but I think that's something you should probably anticipate. I can see the coming in late, disrupting the classroom. I can see that as being a thing, but I wonder if there's a thing where you just send them back, hey, go to the office. I mean, I guess they just gonna get written or whatever, and then they'll come back. And then you'd have to explain it again because the kids,
Classroom. The phone is ringing because the child needs to go to see the counselor because they're dealing with whatever issues. I get that, and I understand it happens. There are interruptions in the classroom because there are so many students with special needs, and again, I am not faulting them for that.
Right.
What I'm telling you is that a lot of extra energy goes into students who have special needs.
Okay.
And I'm the only person in the room. There isn't a teacher's aide. There isn't another special ed person in here with me, and I have 33 to 34 students.
That student count really matters, and I didn't realize that until I became an adult either. Like, when I was in class, it was the same thing. We had like 30 students per class, Alay, my wife, she had I think like 12 students in her class, and I would say I feel like Alay had way better educational system than I did. Like, the way she grew up, the way she does things, it's just like I'm playing catch up all the time trying to figure out some shit, and she's like, oh, we do it, or I know this, or I did this, or we did this in school, we did this in school, we did this in school. I'm like, damn, I ain't never do none of that in school. So I do see a big difference when you have one teacher trying to assist 30 people versus you one teacher plus a teacher's aide, and you got 12 students between the two of y'all.
The interruptions are insurmountable. So trying to teach is virtually impossible. We as teachers have become babysitters, and all we do is we're putting out fires every 2 to 3 minutes, and that's not an over-exaggeration. That is the truth.
One of the big differences between a good teacher and a bad teacher is a good teacher has control of their classroom. Bad teacher, it's crazy, chaos. A good teacher feels like they have control, feels like they have everything going on, feels like everything's going well. But because of the current dynamics, there's a lot of teachers out there, great teachers who have been doing it for years, who now since COVID has slowly had their control stripped away by admin not allowing them to have free reign in their classroom, and parents that are no longer supportive and in most cases are combative to anything that they want to do.
Does it make a difference being a male teacher versus a female teacher? Right? Do you have it harder being a female teacher because you may get people that disrespect you more, or they don't view you as somebody as they could push over, versus a man, they may not feel that way. I wonder if that's also going on in the classroom.
So the way I view it is teachers are in a straitjacket. Like, imagine a teacher in a classroom with a straitjacket on. It's like, can somebody get me that? Get me that? No, not that. The only way to mentally do well in those situations is to lower expectations and accept it is what it is. And for real life, this is amazing advice. Letting go of things you don't control. Just letting things be the way that they are. But in the teaching setting, that means that Johnny is not going to improve like the Johnnies of the past did.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because, I mean, you're lowering expectations. That's not going to be good for educational growth.
Once a teacher gets to a certain level where they recognize, I'm lowering my expectations of my classroom, this is not okay. So I got to leave. And all you hear is the deterrence like, oh, you're weak and you can't handle it anymore. Oh, you should leave. While internally you're like, how can I do this? How can I give up on them? How can I admit that this is just not working anymore? And ultimately, how can I choose myself and saying I need to step away and leave those kids and just, hey,
That's a tough choice, especially if you really are dedicated to being this teacher, this educator. Damn, I want to help these kids out as much as I can, but I have to put me first. But putting me first means I'm letting all these kids down.
People that work in public schools are leaving the profession, and I'm no different. I walked out of my job and quit after 10 years working in a public high school, and I don't regret it at all. Unless you've worked in education yourself, you really can't relate. People in other positions want to say or compare that their job is just as hard, but to be honest, unless you've actually done it and you've walked the walk and you've been in our shoes, you don't know. It's not the pay. People go into this profession knowing that the pay isn't going to be great, and they go in because they love the kids and because they sometimes want the schedule. They want to be moms, they want to be dads, they want to have a schedule that can accommodate them being parents.
One thing I did think about when I was a kid, the teacher schedule, thinking like that you work and then you get all of those months off with the summer and like all those weeks of like maybe fall break if you get a spring break, or you know what I mean, like, oh man, Christmas break, all that stuff. It's like, dude, that gotta be a crazy good job. But when I became a high schooler and I talked to the teachers on a responsible level, they would say some of them picked up side jobs, and it really hit that it was like, man, that's life, man. That's the world. That's tough, man.
Profession, but it's also exactly why I left. It got to the point where I was so exhausted and drained by the end of a school day where I had poured every ounce of energy, every ounce of empathy that I had out onto all these kids that by the time I got home, there was nothing left for my own family.
I want you to send this video to anybody who can't understand why teachers are crashing out and quitting. I mean, they get their summers off, so like, what do they really have to complain about?
Oh, I just said that. Oh, boy. I didn't mean it like that. I told you I understand. Now I understand.
So everything I show you on this green clipboard is going to represent when I started teaching in 2005, and everything on this red clipboard is 2025. So this represents the year 2005, and this is how many of my students are reading on grade level. Everything in blue. 1.5 students out of like a group are struggling readers, but pretty much everybody's reading at least on level, some even higher, okay? 2025. How many of my students are reading
Yeah, almost half. Ooh.
on grade level? Okay, this next is an average of how many of my students failed my class. Like, they are going to have to repeat this. There's no recovering. They failed. This is 2005. 0.5 student out of all of my students. This is this year.
Okay, wait, before we get to this, I always want to know this with numbers and statistics. 0.5, how you got half a student failing? For sure, are they failing or do they need to give it? It's always fun. But I guess she can have like multiple classes, and it's like the average of all the classes. And she doesn't even have that many students. Oh my God. And then the question is, does this become a reflection of the teacher? Do you get performance reviews and if like half of your class is failing, does it look like you? I'm sure the school gets penalized for that. But yeah, does that trickle down to like, hey, what are you doing in your classroom? Even if it's not your fault, I'm saying like, do you get blamed for that?
On average, I teach about 100 students. On average, this is how many students in each class are not passing. They're going to have to take this class again. Okay, next, the orange represents in 2005, parent involvement.
I don't know if 2 is good or not. I would say probably, because at least you got something there. Parents are busy, man. There's a lot of people that are busy with everyday work, with their jobs and stuff like that. They can't be as involved, especially during school hours, because they're probably working at the same time. So having that is cool. I'm guessing the next one's gonna be like 0, like 0.5 or something like that, or even less. It would be nice to have more if you could.
Volunteering supplies, 2005, 2025. Where are the parents? Behavior issues. Students in 2005 that I had to like write up on referrals, call home, maybe have parent-teacher conferences for poor behavior. 2025. Put your cell phone away. Why are you showing up to my class 15 minutes late?
You can't teach in that type of environment. What do you mean? Half the class is an issue? Like, how big are these issues? Like, is it just, hey, pick your head up, hey, take your headphones out? Even that, I mean, still, like, after a while, it's like, bro, come on. That's way too many disruptions.
Don't talk to me like that. Don't call them the N-word. You know, if there's anything that being a teacher has taught me, it's analyzing data and trends. And I just don't like the current trends. So that is why you are seeing teachers leaving, like in a mass exodus, just in droves, exiting the classroom this year.
Do you honestly believe that these teachers are quitting their job 2 weeks into the school year because they're not getting paid enough, or because the politics that they're dealing with from outside of the classroom is too much to handle? No, that's not the reason. The reason why they're quitting is because these kids are mean, and they're making the classroom a war zone, and they're getting zero support from parents at home and from admin on their campus.
So either it's going to have to be homeschool, which not everybody can do this, or it's gonna be like, what was the end goal? Like, if we were to think and we were to go in the worst case scenario or best case scenario, I don't know, but just like, let's go all the way to the end, unless they just start paying 10x for people to be teachers, I guess. What would be like the end goal of like teachers being like, nah, we done? Either you got to figure out how to school your kid, or I don't know, bro. Maybe it's not mandatory to go to school at that point. You just, if you got an education, it just looks better for you. They just change the way they do school. Maybe they just record videos and they send it to your kid. And if your kid don't got the work done, then there it is. That way the teacher never has to actually be in a classroom and deal with this. It'd be like a COVID thing, except it probably wouldn't even be live, because I don't want to have to tell you turn your camera on or do this or do this, do this. Look, I'm gonna just send you the lesson plans. You make sure y'all do it, figure it out. And that doesn't even work, because with the smaller kids, like, how do you do it? It's wicked.
Campus. This 100% stems from the stuff that they have to deal with day in and day out from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. inside their classroom. It's the stuff that you have to deal with inside your classroom that makes you burn out and makes you never want to come back. I understand that so many of our kids are dealing with rough lives at home and are dealing with trauma, dealing with mental illness, dealing with learning disabilities. All of those things make it difficult to thrive in school, and I understand that. But the problem is that all of those things are no reason to treat other human beings like a piece of garbage. Regardless of your opinion of teachers, most teachers that I know wake up every single day excited to teach whatever lesson that they've spent hours planning and creating, and they want to have.
I will take a pause right here and say it is some mean teachers out there. Some of y'all teachers are mean as fuck. You're not nice. Y'all got no leeway. Your patience is fucking zero. You act like you've been this type of teacher and you on your 50th year of being this type of teacher. Like, your patience is thin and it doesn't help.
A meaningful experience with the students in their classroom. They want to have a good day. And I know, speaking for myself, I woke up every day praying that it was going to be a good day, praying that the kids that I had that day were going to be as excited about the content that I was ready to present as much as I was. On the daily, teachers are getting cussed out, spit on, hit, flipped off. Their equipment is getting broken and stolen.
With that, it's like, yo, I didn't sign up for this. At the end of the day, I'm still a person. I'm still human. And you not my damn kid. I'm going to just be honest with you. Yeah, no teachers have to deal with that.
There are bullies in class that are relentless, not just to their own fellow students, but to the adult in the room. Imagine if you had to deal with that at your job. I'm speaking to non-teachers right now, right? You would not put up with that. You would stay somewhere where you were treated with respect and you knew that you were safe in your work environment. If someone came every single day to your job, bullied you, hit you, cussed you out, rolled their eyes at you, treated you like you were nothing, like you were garbage.
I could definitely see where people just be like, you know what, I'm just going to excuse myself out of the situation. And when you do that, and enough people do that, what does it look like?
We are asked to deal with so much abuse on a daily basis. And because they are children, somehow it's okay.
If you enjoy that, I do a lot of things on this channel. I play games, I review politics or pop stuff or things like this, all types of things, man. So don't be afraid to hit me in the comments, ask me any questions you want to start, any type of dialogue. Don't even got to be questions. I ain't got the answers to everything. But if you enjoy the content and you made it this far, please support the channel, hit that like, comment, subscribe button, and enjoy your day.